Hey, what do you know? Hope you're well. Hope you're all doing really good. It's 6:30 p.m. on a Sunday evening here in the UK, and so we are live. Really excited to be back with you tonight. I've already been looking in the chat and seeing how many of you good folks are out there. I'm going to have an alcohol-free, so we'll start with one of them tonight. And cheers to everybody. Oh, that's lively. Very nice indeed. I do like these Heineken alcohol-free beers. Why I'm on the alcohol-free? Yeah, same old reason, I'm afraid. A bit of a heavy night last night. We were chatting to our friends in Germany, which was really, really good fun. So tonight's video, got a few bits and pieces coming up for you. I've got some viewers' guitars, which is cool, and I think I've emailed those of you whose I've got and I've been able to feature tonight. So you should have had an email, and hopefully some of you will be in as well. So really hoping that we can have a bit of fun with that. And also tonight we're going to be talking about budget end guitars, and instead of waiting to get sent another guitar, I want to talk about that with you guys tonight, and I'm going to buy one. Now, there's a lot of things flying about on the internet at the moment about paid promotion within videos, and you all know that when I have a paid promotion, I put the little link up, and I think most of my buddies on YouTube do as well. But I just fancy, for a change, getting hold of a cheap guitar to review on your recommendation, and also buying it with my own money. So that's what we're going to be chatting about tonight. Oh, Mr. Q, look at that straight away, bless him. Let's go over to cam 3 and chat cam, and let me pop that up, because you're one of the cool kids, Mr. Q. You are most definitely one of the cool kids, brother. That is incredibly kind of you, and let me give you one of those, my friend. Never courted, but always very much appreciated. Cheers, Q. This is alcohol free, so it might as well be water. Oh, I needed that tonight. I needed that tonight. That is lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And yeah, let's see if I can get the right camera. There we go. A big thank you to you, Q. Really, really, really appreciate that, brother. That is incredibly kind. And I do feel like one of the cool kids now. I'm going to join your gang, man. Awesome stuff. Bless you for that. Thank you. So let's dive on over and see who else is joining Quentin in the lovely chat, the side chat. Now, if you haven't spoken yet, then I will probably not see you, but I'm going to work my way up from the bottom. And this was something that I learnt from Mr. Ben Coombs, who I'm sure will be in. So we've got Yetimezi Nightcat, we've got XMG12, What's Up Doc, William De Silva, Tony Smith, Terry's 3Gs, Tall Thin, Kev, Scott Guitars, that's Dan, Richard Paul, Rax Effects, Quentin the Q, Pete Brown, Patrick White, MB Mike 85, Music Therapy Laz, hey brother, Mickey Settlemeyer, Mayhem, Lefty Guitarist, Jim M, Janice, my girl's in, excellent, lovely to see you, Jake Lee Guitar, Grumpy Mike, Dave Lewis, Daniel Horsley, Craig Philbrook, CJ, you're going to be featured tonight, brother, Charlie S, somebody called CGS, The Budget Guitar Show, hey Johnny, Blues Player 59, the Ben Coombs, moderator to me at least, and the stars of course, BC Rich 581, Bam Mozzie, the other top Mr. Moderator there, and also my good buddy Aaron from the Orbus Band. If I missed you, I am really, really sorry. I learnt that trick from Ben. Work up from the bottom, and then anybody that jumps in and chats while you're going, you should just about be able to see. So, Dale Palmer as well. Guinness 780, I didn't see you either. And Keith H, Grumpy Mike. Wow, absolutely awesome, guys. Lots of you in. Thank you very much for that, Jan. Or Ivan, I should say. I'm so sorry. Ivan, he says, some metric beer money. Brother, that is incredibly kind. Canadian dollars as well. Wow, I do know that up in Canada, those dollars are special. So a big thank you for that as well. Cheers, brother. Really, really much appreciated. And let me give you one of those. There you go, sir. Cheers, buddy. Oh, and I am drinking a lot of this beer tonight, and I always end up getting gas with this beer, which is really crazy. But there we are. Thank you so much. And Terry's 3Gs thanking you for that as well. How cool is that? So let's have a look at some of the comments. As always, if you want to shout me out, please put @CGS in front of it, and then I'll get to see your comments, which is wicked, which is what I'm going to go back and pick a couple of now. So first of all, let me just quickly nip in and see how we are doing. We have 67 concurrent viewers and 24 likes. I'm liking that. If we can get that up to 30 likes in the next few minutes by about, I don't know, by about on the 1:45 mark, then we'll have a checkout of viewers' guitars. But for now, let's pop back and have a look in the chat and see what I'm being asked. Let's have a see. I'll go back to, oh, there you go, Jake Lee Guitar saying hi. That's cool, man. Paul King, CGS, hi. Oh, pardon me. Hugh Caldwell, hey bro, really liked your video this week as well. If you haven't checked out Hugh's channel, please go over there. Dale Palmer saying, hey CGS and all you good people in the chat. Excellent, excellent. We have got any questions? Let's have a look. Trevor Locke says, missed me. Yes, of course. I always miss you. I miss all of you all week until we get to this Sunday evening. And I'm like a small child at Christmas on a Sunday evening. I love coming on and interacting with all you lot. So yes, of course I've missed you. Okay, we've got CJ is eating spag bowl while joining us tonight, and your guitars are going to feature in viewers' guitars tonight, brother. So I hope you're going to enjoy that. We've got Terry's 3Gs thanking Ivan, and I'm sure he thanked the lovely Q as well. Big Gary Tollander's in the big G. Yay, how cool is that? Lovely to see you in, brother. Oh, bless you for that, Grumpy Mike. Look at that. Bless you, brother. Let me give you one of those, and let me raise a little drop of beer to your good health as well. He says, a little something for the cause, whatever the cause may be, and why not? And why not indeed? Bless you, brother. Cheers. So we are getting through this beer tonight. Oh man. And am I glad that it is alcohol-free beer tonight, because as I said, I managed to cane the majority of a bottle of Jack Daniels again. Is this becoming a bit of a regular occurrence? I seem to say this every Sunday live show, and honestly, you can tell by my eyes and the bags under my eyes that I'm not pulling your leg. Yeah, I do have a taste, and when I'm not drinking on a Saturday, I will come on with a JD on a Sunday, and why not indeed, why not? So let's see quickly if there are any questions for me. Chicken Liquid say, hi Mike, hey man. Emilio Lopez says, CGS is the man. I want to make a cheap version of the Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat. Don't know if I'll buy a Harley Benton ST20 SB or try for a Mexican Fender. Well, that's a great idea, man. I think if you can get the Mexican Fender at a decent rate, it would be probably that little step closer. I would think anyway. Okay, cool. Let me see. We've got CJ saying, you should review one of the East Coast branded guitars. They're said to be very good quality for very little money. I've had the GL130 Les Paul copy and it's beautiful and played like a dream. Good shout, man. Good shout. Maybe they might be in the list tonight. Trevor says, what's the budget? How cheap is cheap? Well, cheap is cheap. When you think about what we've got from Harley Benton in the way of the telly recently, and also from Glary guitars, we're talking sub £100. And I've got a list. You would not believe this list of guitars that I've managed to find at sub £100 price point. But we will get onto that, I promise. That's the main feature today. And by the way, just to let you know, I haven't actually invited any guests on tonight because watching back last week using the tablet, I've got to work out a way of getting the volume better, certainly from my end, because you really couldn't hear me so well, and I can't keep this mic on when I'm talking to the guests through the tablet. So I'm going to have a bit of a fiddle and a play with that and see if I can improve on it or find an alternative way of doing it, and then we'll get back to having some guests on. So that's just to let you know that if you haven't received an email this week saying this is the code, do you want to come on? That's why. I'm going to fix that. Okay, let's pop back and see what other questions we've got. Roxy says hi. Roxy says, Mike, rock! Rocks! And that's very kind of Roxy. Well, there we go. Let's have a drop of that for Roxy. Ah, there we go. Mr. Ben Coombs has the one and only Mr. Grumpy Mike guitar joining him for the hang tonight. Well, that will be absolutely amazing. Two of my favorite people on YouTube on one channel, and that'll be really great. So as always, guys, Ben is streaming at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I always want to say 9 for some reason, but it is 8 p.m. Also, MTL will be streaming between times. I'm just trying to think. Also, I think the Big G streams just before Ben. So always, if you're around and about, support my buddies. Go and watch their live streams as well. Don't watch Pete Thorne. No, I'm only joking. I love Pete Thorne. And he usually streams straight after me. So what a day for streaming Sunday is, which is really cool. Okay, so yeah, enjoy that tonight. I shall definitely be watching that one in the morning. I do have a banging headache today and I am very tired from last night, so I will be catch up in the morning as well, like I did with Stephen Boston last week. Let's have a look. Rax Effects says, check out Fame guitars made by Mayonnaise Factory. Well, I think Fame are not on my list. Wow. Okay, man. Good. I will add them to my list. In fact, what I should do is quickly grab my board, because I need your suggestions as well, guys. So I've got my little board with all this on, and also Music Therapy Laz. I saw your pictures on Instagram, but I can't get them off of Instagram. I am rubbish at getting or stealing pictures from Instagram. So I'm going to add Fame guitars to this list and look those up as well. Okay, great idea. Evan Shank says, I sent you an email with my choice. Okay, well, I'm not sure that I've seen that, but that's cool. I think, actually, thinking about it, Did I reply to you? I think you may have been the email that inspired tonight's show, my friend, and I think you were telling me about artist guitars. Let me know if that's right, and they're definitely on the list. Tall Thin Kev says, how about something off Fleabay or Gumtree rather than new? That is a little thing that I think I might do in future, brother. I think that's a really good idea, Tall Thin Kev, but for now I'm going with brand new. I'm going with all the budget range ones, and I've got, as I say, I've got what, let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 brands plus Fame, so that's a lucky baker's dozen. Yeah, we're going to pick something from that to begin with, but that's a great future suggestion. Thanks, mate. Okay, Lloyd Norval, hey brother, great to see you in. Hello again, CGS, nice to see you, sir. Lovely to see you, mate. Excellent. Wax Effect says, sub 100 guitars are sweatshop standard. Yeah, I think actually I can dispel that myth a little bit, because when I was doing the Chinese knockoff guitars, I actually made friends with quite a few folks that work in the factories out there. And you know what? They really, really appreciate their jobs. They're not worked as hard as we think they are, or as they used to be. I think things have got a little better in China. I know there are still some incredibly poor human rights abuses going on out there, but the guys I spoke to really, really love their jobs. So, you know, just to balance the argument a little bit. Okie dokie. CJ says Faisley on the list. Budget Guitar Show says Sia Faisley. Cheapo on the list, brother. Rax Effect says Fame is not sub 100. Right, okay. And it wasn't you, Ivan. I'm sorry about that, mate. Where did you tell me on your super chat? Was that what it was? No, that was Symmetric Beer Money. I don't know. I'll have to check my emails again. Tall Thin Kiss says 13 £100 guitars. That's an ounce of gold. Yeah, love it. Hugh Caldwell says, have I got J&D on the list? I do indeed, my friend. In fact, I will go through the list in just a moment. But I think before we dive into the cheap guitars that we're going to talk about tonight and decide on, I think we should have a look at some of the lovely guitars that my good friends sent to me. I've got 3 of you this week that have sent in pictures and a little bit of a description. So I'm going to don the headphones and we will have a little look at the the only video tonight. Here we go. CJ's dad bought him his first ever electric guitar when he was about 10 in the form of a travelling Wilburys Gretsch short scale and a tiny Marshall amp. And while his initial early enthusiasm was there, he was just got into things like computing. But this guitar was the oldest one he'd ever had until recently. In later years he went to pick up the bass and enjoyed that in his college years, still without much interest in guitars. His father always wanted to see him play well with guitars and join in with him and other musicians, and he never really got to see him get to that point today, as sadly he passed away. His father died in 2015 when he was the ripe old age of 33, and he's promised himself that he would learn and take up guitar again and try and discipline himself with it. After a handful of guitars from Squire Modded Strat to a couple of Harley Bentons and some Epiphones, he's never really settled on a type or tone he really wanted, or even feel of a guitar he wanted until recently. Next came his vintage Strat, the light blue guitar with 3 P90s down the middle. He's always been a fan of weird pickup configurations on guitars. It sounds fantastic and has a lovely ring to it. The next 2 guitars are ones which you can possibly say are his 2 favourites ever and will stay with him and get handed down to his kids. The first is a 1970s Japanese lawsuit era Greco with Maxim pickups and some great mojo. It needs some work doing to it, like a new nut, and he's had to replace the saddles as the originals lost the screws, but it's all original apart from that. Then finally comes the 2010 Japanese Pink Strat, which is his latest guitar, and what a fantastic find it was and a fantastic bargain. He says it's such a joy to play and it's very easy to run up and down the neck. My good buddy Stu got a new guitar this week as well. A beautiful, beautiful gold top with P90s, as he didn't have one yet. And Thomann only charged VAT and £8 delivery, which I think was a really good deal. Mark is a big fan of Agile guitars, and here we can see two of his Agiles. One is a single cut and one is a double cut, and they're amazing instruments for the price point, he says. He's something of a fan of these guitars, and the build quality and specs are like nothing else for the money. All of his have upgrades, SDP rails in the gold top, AL4 tone riders in the lemon burst, and Mr. Fabulous AL2 LIX in the double cut, which weren't absolutely necessary, but even with the additional cost, they're fantastic value and all keepers. The SX SST 62S type is a phenomenal value guitar for such a budget price that's really turned him back into the whole Strat vibe, which he's really enjoying again. The Michael Kelly MK 1953DB is also a great T-style option that is beautifully made and hugely versatile with the great 8 setup, and the comfort cuts also make it the nicest Tele guitar he's ever owned. He's owned the Washburn A20 from new since 1981 and could never part with it. It's such a beautiful instrument that somehow manages to survive his younger years of playing remarkably well, and certainly better than some others. He's a huge fan of neck-through guitars, which is what drew him to the Agile models. He's owned the Marlink Deluxe for 15 years or so and was pleased that he took a punt on it as his first ever Indonesian built guitar long before they became more mainstream, as it plays really, really nicely and can create some nice tones. So there we go, some lovely guitars shown tonight. So a big thank you to the guys who sent in stuff for me this week. And if you want to send in pictures of your guitar and or guitars I should say, and a little bit of text about them, and let me know what it is you love about them, I'll show them on the show. That's what it's all about. That's about the community. So I had a question or two while I was in there. Oh, I'd always do that, don't I? Here we go. Tony Smith says, Mike, can you get any Harley Bentons sub 100? Well, yes, absolutely. This very Tele here is £71. So yes, that is a sub £100 guitar. And a very beautiful one too, if you ask me. I really do like that guitar. So yes, you can absolutely get Harley Bentons sub £100. There's quite a few of them. Let's have a look. I did have a couple of other questions. Let me go back over to chat cam. Think the next one down was Lloyd, and oh, excuse me. He says, I love cheap Strats, some hidden gems. CGS, have you ever heard of the Axel Player Deluxe Strat copy by Axel Guitars? No, I haven't. So we have got another one to go on the list. Axel Guitars. I'll check them out as well, mate. Thank you for that. He said that it's an old model. It might be that they don't do them anymore, but your mate David got it for his 16th birthday. Wow, cool, man. Aria STG, maybe some deals out there for less than 100. I'm not aware of any Aria guitars going for less than 100, man, but I will add them to the list and see if I can find anything. Okay, let's go down and see if there's any more CGSs. Pete Brown, you're most welcome, my friend. He says that, excuse me. Thanks for sharing the collections tonight. Tony Smith, Mike, British company Revelation guitars are worth a look. Revelation, okay, brilliant. Revelation, that's a new one on me, brother. So cool. CJ says, thanks Mike, apologies to the viewers for my ugly bald head in one of those photos. I hope you didn't mind me including that, mate, but I thought as you sent it I would include it, which was really cool. James Mears, how are you, mate? we had the James Mears live stream about this time last year, didn't we? You had your own live stream, brother. He says, check out Reloved Guitars. Sam takes second-hand budget guitars, does repairs and mods, and does a superb setup. Oh, that's cool, mate. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Can I mention that you've now got Patreon on your channel, Budget Guitar Show? I think I just did. I think I did that, buddy. And actually, while we talk about patrons, all of my patrons will be invited along with the people who have up to tonight found the Easter egg in my video on Friday. And patrons and those guys will get to choose from our shortlist that we come up with. And so I did tell you there's nice surprises for these Easter eggs that I'm putting out there. So sorry if you didn't find the Easter egg in my video on Friday, but if you have and you've emailed me as per the instructions, you guys are going to get to vote on it and decide which one we buy. So hope that'll be fun. And also you'll be joined by my lovely patrons, of which of course the wonderful James Mears is one. Quentin says, where do I send photos to? Q, in the description of the video. Actually, seeing as Q has asked me a question, I think it's time I open my second beer. He always, you always remind me to drink, brother, and I really appreciate that. And I'm sorry it's not water, but we got two. Oh, that was a good shot. Just got it in the bin. We got 2 alcohol-free beers tonight, so cheers, brother. As I was saying, if you check down below in the description of this video, you'll find all of my links, including the one to the email address, which is still China Guitar Skeptic. I really must get around to getting a CGS email account, but at the moment, still China Guitar Skeptic. So at gmail.com, that's where you can send them, mate. And I'd love to show your guitars, Q. Okay, CJ says, what about Kramer Strats? What are 99 to 109 doing the rounds? Kramer Focus are on my list. They're on my list. Oh, bless you, Rax Effects. You take care, brother. Sorry you've got to run. But lovely to see you in, mate. See you next time, hopefully. Agile Guitars. Now, Agile, I'm not absolutely sure that we can get Agile in the UK, but I will definitely add them to the list because everybody's always talking about Agile. And if I can get one and they're at a reasonable rate, we'll chuck them into the pot. Donner Guitars. Yeah, definitely. That's one that well, actually, I didn't put it on my list, but I'm adding it to my list because I did see them. And I have already tried out, I don't know if we can see it on the cam. There we go. Oh, up there. Tried out a Donner Uke at some point recently. So, yeah, definitely wouldn't mind trying out a Donner. Oh, look, you can see it even better there. Although it's very, very bokeh out, which looks lovely, doesn't it? Anyway. Let's dive down. I see there's loads more comments. No, it was lovely. I think that's talking about your picture. Evening Bud, Shine Guitars. Wow, thanks Terry. Shine Guitars, that's another one to add to the list. And if I've missed anybody, please let me know. Firefly, are they on my list? They are not. Firefly Guitars. Okay, brilliant. Thank you for that, Paul. That was Paul King. That's a pleasure, my friend. Everybody now knows that you've got Patreon up and running. Did anyone mention Ivy Guitars? Now, I thought they were on my list, but they are not. So I'm going to add them to this list and I'll look into those. It's really stuff that I can get easy in the UK. Brad, no worries, mate. Better late than never. It's lovely to see you in, my friend. Really lovely to see you. Sub-Zero Guitars, that's a new one as well. My goodness. Wow, we have got such a list now. Hard Luck King. If they're out of California, buddy, then I think that I'm going to be out of luck, because I bet they won't be under 100 quid when they get sent over here. That's okay, man, no worries. I hope it's not crashing at my end. I'll just have a quick check on that, make sure that I'm streaming okay. No, it says excellent connection. It says 79 of you viewing and 53 likes. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Love seeing the likes. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it as well. Carl, oh sorry, Grumpy Mike. Carl says, sorry, missed the beginning. You're looking for below 100. Yes, absolutely. SX Guitars. Yes, of course. Let's put them on the list as well. Freya, I'm pretty sure I've already got Freya. No. Okay. Thanks for that. XMG12. Let's add Freya guitars. Awesome. And they're in Ireland, right? So we should be able to get hold of those. So let me tell you the list that I have already. And in fact, I think I have queued up some media for these. Now, somebody emailed me this week with this first one, which is the Artist brand. So these are Artist brand. Now, at the minute, this one's a Strat. I've got some other options. I've got Strats, Tellys, Les Paul, and also SG type guitars. So, oh my goodness, let me pop back over here and just say a big thank you to my brother, Johnny, and let me give you one of those, my friend. Cheers, thank you so much. He said, for all your help with my channel and being a good guy, I just became a patron of yours too. Mate, that is so kind. Thank you so much. Here's to you, mate. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And that is really appreciated, brother. Very much appreciated. So thank you for that. Okay, going back to this, I just wanted to tell you that somebody emailed me about Artist guitars, and they do look really nice. And I like this one because it's got a humbucker. It's humbucker single. I'm not sure about the headstock, but for all of that is under $100. I say bucks. It's my. That's Henning rubbing off on me. That is under £100. Okay, so that's one. Now this is East Coast Guitars, and they do like a Strat. And one thing that really, that's very white, so you can hardly see it on the background, sorry. But one thing that really grabbed me about this one was the scratch plate. I really like that little design there. Then I've been told about these so many times, and that's Faisley guitars. And I think some of you have mentioned Faisley in the comments section. So yeah, that's a nice Telly with a really interesting looking wood grain on it. Excuse me. And I particularly like the black guard on that, but you know, I've done quite a lot of Tellys recently, maybe not a great idea. Next up, we've got J&D guitars, J&D guitars. Now, I'm not sure, this one looks like a short scale to me, a 3/4 scale guitar, but I know they do full size guitars as well. But again, humbucker in the bridge, which kind of appeals if you guys decide, and let's be fair, that's what we're talking about. If you guys decide that we're going to go for a Strat style guitar, you know, it's entirely up to you. Next one I've got is a Johnny Brook guitar, and again, interesting headstock. I just picked the very first colours that came up, so I'm sorry about the white not showing up so well on the screen here, but Johnny Brook guitars, I had not heard of those before. Also, and again, not just picking Strats, but this is a Redwood guitar, and another sub 100 brand. I'm absolutely amazed at how many sub 100 brands there are. And lastly, I've got a couple of these, which are Roxon guitars. This one's obviously a LP style guitar, and it looks very very typical of an AFD, I would say. But it looks nice. The only thing is they are bolt-on. I'm not absolutely sure that that's appealing in this style of guitar. And finally, also, I found an SG by them, which looks a little funky. I don't know what you think, but it doesn't look particularly SG to me. It looks a bit more like my Phil X XG, if I'm honest. So yeah, they are the ones that I've come up with so far. And I have got a list. Let me go back to your chat, because wow, so many comments there that I've got to go back to, but we will get there, I promise. So this is my full current list at the moment. So I've got Artist guitars, East Coast guitars, Rock Jam, Roxon, Faisley guitars, J&D, Redwood, Oypla, which is OYPLA guitars, LA Electric, Kramer do a Focus at £99, which is amazing. Encore guitars, I know very well. Brooklyn, and then of course Donna, Essex and Freya that people came in with tonight. Also, we've got your other suggestions, which were Hard Luck King, Fame, Axel guitars, Aria, Revelation, Agile, Shine, Firefly, Ivy guitars and Sub-Zero guitars. Right, do you have any more to add to this list, this big long shopping list? Because I'm going to go and find, I think, options, and I'm going to pick my favourite options from Strats, Tellys, Les Pauls, SGs, and maybe a wild card sort of category as well. We'll see what we've got. Let's quickly pop over to the chat cam. Scott Guitar says, my daily player is a Bullet. I put some decent tuners on and a Seymour Duncan quarter pounder and the bridge. It's great. Wow. And I know why that is, because I've got your beautiful telly still here, and wow, that's coming up in another video really soon as well. So watch this space, guys. Beautiful guitars that Dan makes over there. So yeah, a big telly fan as well. CJ says, I know it's technically a retail company, but Gear for Music do some cheap guitars. Yeah, a lot of these I think were on Gear for Music, but I will add Gear for Music up the top here so that I've got that to hand. Flying Pickle says, tweet at CGS. Well, thank you very much for that. I love to be tweeted at. Grumpy Mike says, Shane from In the Blues really likes the Artist guitars. Yeah, I had heard that actually. And in fact, I think whoever it was, it might have been Stu that turned me on to Artist and said that Shane liked them. So that's why they were top of my list, because that was the email that inspired this idea. Guitar Hack. Hey bro, don't worry about being late, man. You're here. Better late than never. Scott Guitars fancies trying a vintage at some point. Yeah, I have to say my experience with vintage guitars has been really good, bro. Really, really good. Oh my word, so many comments. Ivan Shank says, I'll send you photos of the guitars I've made myself at some point this week. Please do, brother. I would love to feature them. If you can send me a video, that would be awesome. And maybe we can hook up and do a bit of a live chat once I get that working again. So love you to send me stuff you've made. Particularly, it's really nice to see luthiers joining this chat on a regular basis with Dan here as well. It's lovely. So really love your own guitar builds. That would be brilliant. Tony Smith says Gear for Music branded guitars are not bad. There you go. So they do actually have Gear for Music branded. Okay. Awesome. Trevor says, amazing choices you can get for cheap guitars these days. Exactly. It is absolutely wild what is out there. We've got Budget Guitar Show saying, I used to own an East Coast electroacoustic. It was great, but I don't play acoustics well. Oh, okay, brother. Well, at the end of the piece, they're on my list, aren't they? East Coast. So maybe as well as Strats, Tellys, Les Pauls, SGs, and a wild card category, maybe we should have an acoustic category as well, because if you guys want to see acoustics, that's cool with me as well. Okay, Westfield, Terry Tickler says, that is not on my list, but it is now. Brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant. Okay, we look like we're done with the @CGSs. Oh, almost. CJ said, didn't you do a review of vintage V100 AFD a few years back? I'm sure that review was the reason I chose that guitar for a while. Also think it was one of the first vids I ever saw of yours. Yes, I did. Yeah, I think the vintage one I did was it wasn't an AFD, it was a Greenie Moore, a PGM, Peter Green model. And it was the one with the relicking on it that I wasn't overly impressed with, if I'm absolutely honest. But it was the only thing about that guitar I wasn't that impressed with. And also I think it had a bit of fret sprout as well. But that's another story. That's another story altogether. But I do like vintage guitars. I also did some of the vintage branded, oh, now what were they called? They were really gorgeous picture guitars, and I did the Lucky Betty, the surf guitar. The surf guitar was lovely, and also I can't remember, but they're part of the vintage brand. Vintage have kind of quietened down a little bit with giving me guitars to review at the moment, but I'm sure that they'll be back pretty soon. So let's just quickly take a little look. There we go. Yes, I totally agree with you, Dan. Yeah, it'd be great to get more luthiers on. We could all hook up and chat. Definitely, definitely. And Dan, I need to talk to you as well about when we do the British Boutique Guitar Festival, because I'd love you to come and do that. Grumpy Mike says, I'm down with some acoustics. CJ, yeah, you've worked it out. Jodo, thank you, CJ. Yes, absolutely. It was Jodo guitars. You're absolutely right. And Brad Guitar Miller, whose channel I've also been watching a lot this week, he says, go for the Kramer. Yeah, the Kramer Focus. It's kind of on my list. It's kind of on my, I really would like to include that on the list, definitely. Dave Lewis says, Mike, you can drive over when it's allowed and help yourself to my collection. Wow, now there's an offer. There is an offer. Bless you, man. Well, send me some pictures of your collection, brother, and I will put you on the feature of viewers' guitars next week, which is really, really cool. Okay, guys, I am incredibly grateful tonight for this massive, massive, massive long list. Oh, am I showing you? There we go. Of brands. It's amazing how many cheap brands of guitar there are. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 27 brands of cheap guitars, sub £100 guitars, which is quite amazing. And I'm, yeah, really, really keen to look at a few of these for you. So if you want to, I've got a big job to go and check all these out, see which ones are available in the UK and see which ones are sub £100. There's a good reason for that. And at the moment, because obviously we're all a little bit strapped, or a lot of us are a little bit strapped in these really difficult times when a lot of us are losing work. It's a really, really good way to find some incredible deals, incredible bargains. And so that's the kind of rationale behind it. I really hope you guys like the idea. I really hope it looks like you're on board. I mean, we've got quite a few of you made it all the way through tonight. We're 81 at the minute, 81 of you in, there's 64 likes, which can't be bad, which means that, yeah, we've probably hit the nail on the head. Scott Guitar says, great, thanks, I'll look forward to that. And I think we're talking about the British Boutique Guitar Festival. Yeah, just to, Grumpy Mike says, I reckon you got a lot of guitars to buy. Yeah, I'm not going to buy them all, brother. Obviously, I'm going to buy one to begin with. So we're going to whittle my shortlist of these down to one. And all you lovely patrons, Grumpy Mike being my longest patron, I think, buddy, you're all going to get to decide, along with the people that picked up the Easter egg on Friday's video. You're going to get to see my shortlist and vote on, because I didn't want to open that up completely. What I might do is I might whittle down the shortlist to maybe 2 or 3, and I might do another Easter egg to let a few more of you in on the voting. So do check them out in the videos. I'm enjoying doing these Easter eggs. They seem like a silly thing to do, but actually it's really fun, because one of the things I love, and I really do love this, is the fact that those of you that watch the whole way through my videos, I started doing these little bits at the end as well, where it's almost like, who does it? Andy, my buddy Andy, the guitar geek, has an end of the video club, and I like that idea. But also these little Easter eggs, it's ways of me engaging with those of you that watch all of my content, support everything I do, and it's a way of me showing how much I appreciate that, along with, of course, my wonderful patrons. So really appreciate you getting involved on that. Grumpy Mike says, I think I was either 2 or 3. Oh, well, I'll tell you one thing, brother. You're now the longest standing patron, because I think with the pandemic, I lost a few, and you know, it is difficult. I appreciate that people are in tough times. In fact, I nearly did another video tonight to include tonight about the I Love Music, or I Love Live, sorry, because that auction is still going on. So if you guys want to help out some of the guys in road crews and behind the scenes and stage crew and that kind of thing, the sort of work that I was doing before the pandemic, there's a lot of my brothers out there that are losing homes on the street, and I can't over exaggerate how important it is that we need these guys when things unlock and we come back. So yeah, spare a thought for them. Really love hanging out with you guys tonight. It's been really good fun. It is 20 past. That's not too bad. I think we're going to wrap it up there. And I'm going to say a very fond farewell and good night to you all. And yeah, thank you so much for that list of 27 guitar companies. I'll be whittling down a list and getting that out to those of you that managed to crack the egg. Try and crack the egg. Everybody try and crack the egg in future. Okay guys, thanks as always for watching. Really appreciate it. And as always, you take good care.